New Year's Eve monologue, but every Sunday at 5 I'm joined by a celebrity, a former MP or someone who's had an extremely interesting career to talk about life after the job. We talk highs, lows and lessons learned and what comes next on the outside. And today, my special guest, the first working day afterwards, we'll be discussing this, offers a chance of a fresh start, particularly for those in unhappy marriages. Dubbed D-Day, the first day back at work after Christmas, annually sees record numbers of people start divorce proceedings. So I'm joined by a very special guest who is outside divorce. It is, of course, divorce coach Sarah Davidson. Sarah, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me back, Nana.
That's all right. So I've got an outfit a bit like that, but
yeah, you do.
The buttons are on a different bit and all. But it's really good to have you back because we love to talk to you every New Year, because this is the time when lots of people start looking across at their partner. They've spent way too much time with them over the Christmas period. They've not liked the way they're chewing or talking or just frankly breathing, and they're thinking, I want to get out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we have Divorce Day. Not a very happy day, but it is the day where most...
For some it is.
Well, yeah, for some it is, yeah. And it is when there are more people filing for divorce on this day than any other day of the year. That's what they say. I mean, I usually see it spreads out over January. Any time after you spent quality time with your partner, that's when, if there are cracks in the relationship, it's going to show, right? And I think right now with the financial situation, I think there was a survey recently that said that over 50% of people who are married felt friction in their marriage because their mortgages had gone up, and 32% would never leave their partner because they didn't want to live alone. So even though divorce rate seems to be coming down a bit, I think we're still... The reason is people don't want or can't right now get divorced.
I find it fascinating that some people don't want to live alone, because it's wonderful. What are you thinking? You don't have to deal with that nonsense. No, I get it. I understand that some people need to be with other people, but I'm one of those who I'm very happy if I have somebody who I really like. But if that's not available, then I love being on my own. I love my own company. I would rather be alone than be with somebody who I don't really want to be with.
Yeah.
Or who doesn't want to be with me.
And I think this is the thing, you know, you can't make somebody love you by doing more of what they don't appreciate. So I think if you're in a relationship that isn't working, isn't healthy, and you've tried, because the thing is, divorce is known as the second most traumatic life experience we go through, so it's not easy, and any kind of breakup is tough. But divorce, especially with the legal side as well. And if you've got kids as well, obviously that's a big shift. So, yeah, I think a lot of people who are independent and can see that bright side, it definitely is a bright side, Nana. I love living on my own as well, but I also think that there's some people that are so used to living with people that it can be really, really tough right now.
Also the financial aspect of it, that can't be diminished.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes go to my friends who are, you know, married or whatever, and I always have a look around their house because I'm nosy. I was like, can I see you in your house? And they let me go. And I go into the bedroom, because usually they're quite nice and tidy, because they know I'm nosy. And I see this tiny bed and I think, you two sleep in that? Because it's a double bed, I shouldn't say. It was so small for two people. I think to myself, God, I love my sort of out there like this, do the cartoon running legs and all that.
Exactly. There are lots of benefits of being single. So if people watching are going through that right now, heartbreak is tough. I mean, it is. And there's lots of things you can do to improve that. And some of the good things and the benefits are being able to watch GB News and not having anyone want to switch the channel, or, you know, starfishing in the bed. But I think, you know, it can be hard for people. And a lot of people get stuck. And a lot of people say to me, especially in January, I don't have the answers. I need closure. I need to go back and ask them why they've done this. But the thing is, the person that hurt you can never heal you.
Yeah.
So you have to find your own closure with those kind of situations.
You know, but why do... I get it that people want to know, they want closure, but at the end of the day, if somebody says to me they don't want to be with me, I'll be like, oh, that sorted it then. Why am I even wasting any more time with you? See you later. I feel bad, I'm upset, but I don't want to be with somebody I don't want to be with. I'm glad you told me I don't want to waste any more of my life. That's what you'd really ideally want somebody to tell you if they don't want to be with you. But what would you... you've had your own experience of heartbreak, so you're not just coming here talking about it.
No.
Tell people your story, because not everybody has heard about the ugly crying.
Yeah, I think I'm famous for ugly crying on the bathroom floor after I found out my husband no longer wanted to be married to me. And it came as a complete shock. Like, you really didn't see it coming. And now, with hindsight, obviously, there were obviously red flags.
Like what were the flags?
Well, we went out, we were in Australia, we were working out in Australia together, actually, and we went shopping for a pair of shoes before we were speaking at events out there. And he said to me, oh, I like those shoes. For my next wedding, I'm going to wear shoes like that. And looking back now, I'm thinking, Sarah, pretty obvious at the time.
Pretty clear flag. What did you think when you heard that?
Well, obviously I was a bit shocked, but I don't know. Sometimes you feel like a real idiot for not seeing these signs or not wanting to see them. I think a lot of the time you know that things aren't great, but you don't really want to face up to it. So
what kind of a guy is this who said that? Oh, bless him. He's just literally telling you because he was hoping that you'd work it out so he didn't have to deal with it
Well,
properly.
probably. It was like dropping hints along the way, but it was pretty obvious when he met somebody else. So, yeah, having sort of realised that he didn't want to be with me and he'd met somebody else who he was madly in love with, and she was also pregnant within a few months. You have to kind of pick yourself back up, and that's when you have the choice, right? You either carry on doing the ugly crying on the bathroom floor, or you pick yourself up and you say, you know what, this isn't going to define the rest of my life. I'm going to take my power back and dial down those negative emotions, which are the tools that I created really to get me through, and that's now what I share with people through my books and my support groups and things like that we offer.
Because there'll be a lot of people who are in a situation where they don't really want to be with the person that they're with. They're trying to deal with that situation or trying to make it work, which I say is the first thing you should do. Of course, you've invested a lot of time and energy into this, but when it isn't working and you've acknowledged that, now what's the next step?
I think really you've got to plan before you leave. I see a lot of people sort of jumping ship, but actually if you haven't got your ducks in a row, you haven't looked at where might you live, what will the finances look like, how are you going to cope with not seeing the children every day? That's a big issue for a lot of people. So actually coming to terms with some of those things, putting some plans in place will really help you move towards that. If you can communicate with your partner, that's always a good thing as well. If you're in a healthy relationship, you can sit down and say, look, this isn't working, but how do we do this with respect and kindness? Because even the most amicable of relationships will get to be difficult. There will be conflict. It might be over the kids. It will probably be over the money. It will be who gets the piano. Those sort of things will really start to get under your skin. But especially if you've got kids, you want to try and work on keeping it as amicable as possible. Obviously, with unhealthy, toxic relationships, that isn't going to be possible. So, again, getting good advice at that stage is going to be crucial.
Well, I know you said you've got lots of free tools on your website that people can get to. So if they want to get hold of some of that free stuff, where do they go?
So my website's sarahdavidson.com, but on Instagram every day I post up videos and tips. So that's Sarah Davison Divorce Coach. So you can follow me on there and I give free advice. And we have our online support groups, which are really great if you're on your own and you want to find your tribe. They're all run by my accredited coaches who I've trained personally, so you know you're getting good support and advice. So they're also good if you're looking for some support.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yes, Divorce Day is coming to a town near you.